what happens here on the kickoff.
Well, it's a low kick, and it's taking a crazy bounce, but it's stopped by Leonard, and he's, well, looking for some space, and there isn't a whole lot there, but he gets up to about the 25-yard line like Mike Lahart, and that's where Drake will take over 1st and 10. And now it's a question, can they reignite that offense that really CONADEIP has taken away most of their bread and butter stuff here in the second half? And, of course, they are working with their third-choice quarterback, a freshman, Nick Entz.
That's going to make it very difficult. You know, the offensive line is going to try to do their part, and I think that's really where it's going to have to start. I really feel that for them to have some success, they're going to have to get some push up front and also give this young quarterback an opportunity and some time to make the throws and go through his proper reads.
So Entz now surveying the field. He has 4 receivers spread out wide, 1 running back, and he's going to throw short, taking what they get. And this time there's yards after the catch. And this is the kind of thing they've needed to do because Schmudlak waited till he knew he'd caught the ball before he started running. But once he ran, there was some room.
And that was one of those stop routes or hook routes, and did a great job. There, you can see Team CONADEIP is playing off the ball right there. Between the tackles, good job running the football. And you got to wonder, where has this been for the most part of the game? They're now getting some an opportunity here.
That was LaFace, the tailback. And he picks up about 13, and that's another first down. 2 plays, 2 first downs for Drake. So that's their response to CONADEIP's touchdown, starting to execute a bit better. CONADEIP, a little movement on the line there. Everyone's looking for a flag, but there isn't one. They better hurry up and get the play off. It looked like CONADEIP had wanted to come, and this time it's a good play fake on the Vart, and LaFace is through for another big pickup, again about 12, 13 yards, and another first down for Drake. And they've got CONADEIP now defensively trying to guess.
Draw play there, good job. And here we go, trying to get to the outside. They're not going to let him do that.
Now, it's a funny thing because he had a lot of blockers out there, but none of them were far enough forward to get a block.
And it seems like, your success, and maybe, hey, I'm not the coach. I can't speak for the coach. But you would think that they, having success, keep going up inside with the short passes and move the ball. Give it, this young quarterback ends. Give him some confidence with this offense. You got a timeout here with Team CONADEIP. But stay within rhythm. Keep that rhythm going.
I think CONADEIP want to talk things over defensively because all of a sudden they're on the back foot. They stopped Drake for 2 yards on that play, and now the lonely moment for the Zebras. American football has its own Zebras, as you can see. The officials in the black and white stripes, always known as Zebras, sometimes shown, I would think, a lot more respect than officials tend to be in European football or even African football, if I may be so bold as to suggest. But you don't often see guys arguing back. You can also see a little flower that each of these guys are wearing on their shirt. And those are in honor of Dave Perry, who was a supervisor of officials for years and years in the Big Ten, a very prominent football official in the United States, and a good friend to Bill Lemonnier and many of the other many of the other officials here in this game. And he died this past week, and they're wearing that flower. We are too, up in the booth to honor his memory. One of the really great American football officials. And as you can see, it's a very technical game. There's a lot of stuff going on, and they have 7 officials out there to try to keep track of what's going on, but sometimes it becomes a difficult job even with 7. Second down, 8 yards to go for Drake. They're on a move right now, trying to answer that touchdown that CONADEIP just scored at the start of the fourth quarter to go ahead by 7-3.
Penalty on Drake here. Seems like, again, young quarterback got some confusion, and it's going to cost him 5 yards. They go from...
And that's surprising when you come out of a timeout. We've had loads of time to talk things over. And that makes this second down and 13 yards. A long down, a passing down now for Drake. Trey Morse is back in at tailback.
This could be a key play here and a key penalty if they can't execute and get a first down here.
And Morris is out there. He's got a receiver open in the middle, and that's a well-delivered ball. And a lot of running room for Joey Orlando. And a flag flies after the tackle, which may be against CONADEIP. But Joey Orlando did a nice job of running after the catch. But Entz did an even better job of delivering that ball.
And a great job of pocket presence, feeling the pressure, but keeping his eyes downfield to locate his secondary receiver coming across. And, you know, a lot of times with a young quarterback, when you get a lot of pressure or get some sort of movement or have some trouble with the ball, your eyes tend to drop down to the defense and watching the rush, and your eyes are not downfield to see, you know, where the receivers are.
So the penalty is going to march off another 15 against CONADEIP. The Drake team was all set to run another play, but I think they'll settle for the extra yardage on the side. But Joey Orlando, a new dawn for Drake. Got to get that joke in sooner or later.
Now you got to see here, you know, down in the red zone, can we execute?
Yeah, here's where they've had their problems. The field gets shorter when you're getting near the end zone because the end zone's only 10 yards deep, so it gives you less room to maneuver. And Trey Morris is going to take the ball right into the left side of the line. Good second effort and picks up a few yards, but that's, you know, one of the few times now they've tried to run up the middle.
And had some success. I mean, it just, I don't understand. And I would think it'd be a little more off guard or off center where they've had their success, whether it's the draw or the quick inside zone run. And they have the backs for it in LaFace and Morris. And I think, like I said, and that would give that quarterback some confidence.
Entz. Touchdown, Orlando! Entz to Orlando, 11 yards, 10 yards for the score. But Entz did another good job of pocket presence because the rush was coming from his blind side, and he got rid of the ball just in time. Orlando making the leaping catch for the score.
And a beautiful throw by Enns. I mean, he put that right on, got it over the linebackers, underneath the secondary. I mean, he tight-roped that right in there. Great job by the quarterback Enns, and a heck of a catch by Joey Orlando to come down with that ball with his feet in bounds.
So Jansen is on to attempt the extra point.
You have a new ball game, folks.
And all of a sudden, things have come alive. The kick is up, and it's good. And take another look at Entz's throw. He's got the time. He delivers it. Orlando had the defender turned around, looking the wrong way, made a great catch. And all of a sudden, Drake are back in the lead 10-7, and the offense we've been waiting for 3 quarters has all of a sudden showed up.
And that's one of the things you kind of, you know, like, wow, what has happened here? And you look at it, you look back at the national championship game, something similar. Everyone thought Oregon, Auburn, explosive offenses. It was going to be a shootout, but took some of those teams a little longer to kind of get in rhythm. Same thing here. You have 2 fairly high-powered offenses starting to find a rhythm, starting to find some holes in the defense and making some plays.
It's like somebody flipped the switch for Entz. You know, someone just said, look, do what you do best, you know, throw the ball. And he's delivered a couple of really good passes downfield. And also, they hadn't been looking downfield much. They've been taking those short passes.
And another thing that helped is, like I said, those runs to kind of give him that confidence. When your team can run the ball and those short passes, that's when things start to get rolling. You start to get into a rhythm as a quarterback, that comfort level with your teammates, and the confidence that you have, and the confidence your team develops, your offense develops in you. Hey, this young guy can get it done. Let's let him open up and see what he can do.
Now the big question may well be which team runs out of gas first here after just 2 days of practice. The kick is a short one and very high. And there's some running room now on the outside. There's a lot of space, in fact, for Guillermo San Martin. And he's forced out of bounds, getting out to about the 40-yard line.
You got to wonder if they're going to take the penalty, because right there you have Drake offsides on the kickoff. You would think that they would take the ball where it is because such a good return. And this is where special teams comes into play. Getting yourself good field position, putting yourself in a good situation. Now you have an opportunity to start off from about the 45, 44-yard line, move the football and see what happens.
Well, it looks like CONADEIP are going to take the penalty and make Drake kick again. I'm with you. I'm surprised at that one because that was probably their best kickoff return of the game.
Yeah, that's very, very odd. I mean, you're going to do you think you're going to gain another, more yardage here? It's a possibility, but we've seen the flip side of taking a penalty on special teams and not taking the ball. And last time in the first half, it cost Drake with the first down with blocking illegal block on the kick.
Okay, we've had a little rethink here. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like they're marking off 5 yards, like they gave him the 5-yard penalty from the kick,
from the spot,
which is
right. By rule. Let me see. Anyway,
well, if they're going to take the penalty, it should be a re-kick for offside. That's interesting. But now Team CONADEIP is in a good situation here.
Great position for a team that likes to run the ball. First down and 10, just short of midfield.
One of the tough things for me is, like I said, not having a clock to look at, kind of give you an idea of, like I said, down and distance as well as time of the game to see what you would expect from a team to kind of have an idea of where they should be and what they should be doing based on time. Because they're down by 3, you got some options. You can go down, get in a position to either tie the game or win the game.
We're having a little zebra moment here. As the
little confusion there.
Officials move the chains and the ball to get them in line. So it's 1st and 10 for CONADEIP. They trail 10-7 as this game has come alive in the fourth quarter. And Race is met hard.
Nice job.
Keeps going, but a good job of tackling.
The whole right side of the Drake defensive line and linebackers did a great job of stuffing the play at the point of attack, keeping good leverage on the football, forcing Rays back up inside to the pursuit.
Race picked up about 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Juarez handing to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez has running room and a first down. He's inside the 40-yard line and about the 39, brought down in the secondary.
Now that was an interesting play. That was kind of the zone trap where you got a guy pulling from the opposite side, and it looks like you're running that same zone read play, but he veers at the last second and gets behind that trapping or pulling guard.
Travis Merritt made the tackle. He's been in on a lot of tackles in this game.
He's had a solid game defensively for the Drake Bulldogs.
Juarez again handing off. That time it's Wong up the middle, picking up just short of 2 yards. Call it 1.
Awesome job there, and another tackle for Travis Merritt. He's been all over the place, doing a great job of stuffing the runs from that middle linebacker position.
He's number 53. You can see him on your screen now. And what he does is play behind the linemen up front, the big guys up front, and tries to keep blockers off of him, get to the ball, and regardless of which direction the ball's going. You see he's right in the middle of the field right now. Juarez, the little shovel pass to Race, and Race breaks the tackle and is in open field. Race cutting to the outside. Race is going to fall down just short of the goal line.
Now he has to be kicking himself right there.
He did kick himself, and that's why he fell down.
Great job and this is again, they're running the ball, and then getting the defense to play the run, and you get the little shovel pass, a little misdirection underneath the defense, get the defense to float up the field, trying to get penetration, drop it off underneath. But a great job by Reyes of finding the hole, and then the cutback right there, and then the acceleration.
And basically he was stumbling forward until he finally fell down, but he's got that great balance to go. 1st and goal at the 3. They pound it inside, and they're stopped short of the goal line. Pickup of about 1.5 yards. It'll be 2nd from just outside the 1 yard line. 2nd and goal. Here you'll see him go down, just stumbling in that grass. He's another Reggie Brooks type low center of gravity guy. I don't want to say big butt, but that's kind of the secret to it, isn't it? Big thighs,
strong legs, keep his legs moving. And like I said, you saw right there early on, he bounced off a tackle and just kept his legs driving.
And again, they're on the ground. And again, they're stopped short. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and goal with again just under a yard to go now.
Well, here comes number 22 again. I wonder who's going to get the football. Let's see if he'll be able to finish this one off. He didn't quite make it the first time. Maybe he'll be able to finish it off this time.
It's like the coach is saying, who wants it? I'm going to give each of you guys one shot. We're inside the 3. Who's going to get the touchdown? And it's Reyes now who's in at tailback. Juarez. They send 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left, trying to spread Drake's defense out. And Reyes, straight up the middle, he runs into a wall and he stops short. And now we have one of those game-defining moments coming up, because CONADEIP is going to have the choice between tying it with 3 points if their kicker is good, or going for the win and the lead.
Go for the kick. Interesting move.
This is Gomez has been good with his place kicks. And that's what he's setting up to do. This is pretty much just an extra point for Gomez, although it's to the left. And this will tie the game at 10. Oh, but the snap is bad again. And that was always the danger for CONADEIP. And Drake is going to take over. What should have been almost an automatic 3 points turns into a disaster for CONADEIP, and there's a fight on the field.
This is not what you want. This is not what you want. The frustration from the team CONADEIP showed right there with the guy, getting a little agitated by the block and thought there was a little extracurricular activity. Come on, let's break it up, guys. This has been a solid game thus far. There's no need to get out of hand.
That ball, that's right. That ball was still squirting around after the whistle, and the players were still playing. Somebody took offense, but there's no call for that. I mean, actually, there's no point punching the guy who's wearing a helmet and shoulder pads.
Exactly. And think about it, it really bars the game. I mean, this has been great sportsmanship, and has been more than just about coming out playing American football on African soil. These two teams have connected together. Yeah, a little frustration right there by number 15.
Mauricio Escobedo, the receiver, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, that's uncalled for, unnecessary.
And then players come in to protect their teammates. And
we understand the frustration, but you got to keep your head and keep your cool. And not our game that has been played fairly well thus far by 2 good teams that have played at a fairly high level, and a very competitive game for the most part. You hate to see it get marred by this situation. And again, what was this trip was more than just about playing American football. It was about outreach and seeing 3 different countries come together and share a game.
And it's a funny thing with American football, because it's a sport of violence, basically. It's a contact sport. It depends on you dominating the man who's opposite you on the side. But there's very little actual fighting that goes on in the game. It's very, very rare.
I mean, it's a mano-a-mano game at times at certain positions, especially on the defense and offensive line, but it requires a team effort and a level of commitment and discipline by the players to work within the framework of the rules and of the system in which you play.
So the only penalty that was excess was for the original foul by Escobedo, 15 yards against CONADEIP. Drake take over now in great field position at about the 42-yard line, and they've got a 3-point lead over Team CONADEIP.
It's looking like they may be content to try to run this out, and hopefully, the officials need to get a handle on this pretty quickly, and hopefully tempers will cool, and level heads will prevail here.
For a second, I thought you said knuckleheads will prevail. I said I would played on teams where knuckleheads prevailed.
Oh, we have an injury with the Drake Bulldogs, and again,
another player is down, injured. It looks like the running back, Brock LaFace, is down.
And that's something that they really can't afford, because they don't have any running backs. They came in here with 3, and one of the running backs during practice tweaked a hamstring, and he hasn't had the opportunity to play. I think he's been back there. Patrick Cashmore, the senior, has tweaked the hamstring early on, and you hate to see guys go down, in a game that's more about fun. But again, this is a violent game, violent sport, and collisions happen, and these things happen. Hopefully he'll be okay.
One of the interesting things was Drake's practicing. They were doing their live hitting on the side and had lost a couple of guys in the live drills, a couple of concussions on the side. And that's one of those things where sometimes it's simply that you've spent a couple of weeks out. Nobody's been playing on the side, and you're just not quite ready for it.
Yeah, and and like I said, a game like this is tough to prepare for because you have to have some level of contact, to prepare yourself for it.
And there you see what the injury is. You could, as the big B falls on top of LaFace.
Right. We hope that's maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him. Clear his head a little bit and get some air and get back out there and finish this game.
An awful lot of kilos running around out there.
Yeah, and we have some confusion again on the Drake sideline of who's supposed to be in the game. Yeah, you might need to get a timeout here. Good job by Ends getting the timeout. A lot of confusion here with the Drake offense, and particularly at the receiver position.
And of course, the last thing you want to do in the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead is to stop the clock. But it's better than taking another penalty, which is going to stop the clock anyway.
And you can see the fans may not really know what's going on, but they seem to be enjoying themselves.
That's right.
That's what this is about.
We've got a couple of vuvuzelas out there. About time, too. The only horns we had before were the Maasai Warriors blowing.
That was really neat. I got quite a few pictures with them, of them, and that was, like I said, the neat thing of seeing the different cultures, Mexican culture, American culture, our Midwestern culture, if you will.
It's funny because the football players were looking at the Maasai Warriors in their full gear, and they're thinking, I've never seen anything like that. And the Maasai are looking at the guys in the shoulder pads and the helmets, and they're probably thinking, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I actually heard a couple of guys talking down on the field. They were like, how big are those pads? And, big guys, but, how much do those pads weigh? How hard is it to move around in them? So there's some interest in understanding, the game of American football here in Tanzania.
It's Morris back at tailback now, and Morris is going to pick up a couple of yards. When I was a freshman in college, my roommate was a soccer player from Cameroon who was on a scholarship. And first day, he was out for soccer practice. We've been practicing football a couple of weeks, but I was sitting there after practice, took my helmet off and said, "Hey, Tom," and he turned around. He'd never seen me before in the gear. His eyes just went, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
And that's one thing about American football, that with other sports you can see the face of the player. So there's a level of intimacy with basketball, soccer, somewhat baseball, because you can see the players. But when you have a face mask on, you tend to look a little different, or not quite human, if you will.
And that one is incomplete as Ends just went for a safety receiver looking for Trey Morris downfield. It would have been short of the first down anyway, and that means that Drake is going to have to punt the ball away on fourth down and give CONADEIP another chance at this 10-7 ball game.
Right here, you really would like to see from CONADEIP set up a good return here to give themselves hopefully some good field position. And if you're Drake, you got to cover. You got to cover the punt, and you also you've got to protect the punter, make sure the snap is good, hold is good, and get the kick off. Right now,
It's interesting because Jansen is really only about 10 yards back. And usually you see a punter a little bit deeper than that for the snap. So he's going to have to get the kickoff quickly. And the Mexicans are rushing him, and he does get it away quickly. It's end over end. And there won't be any return, so safety first for him. He just wanted to get rid of that ball. I think they anticipated a rush coming.
And I think Jansen, he's been a key factor in this game because he's done a great job of kicking the ball and putting Team CONADEIP in tough field position. So he's done a great job there. And, hats off to him. I mean, good eyes there to see. Normally it's about 15 yards deep. He was about maybe 10 to 12.
Yeah.
That can be kind of dangerous.
And he's one of the few seniors on this Drake team. So it's a younger team than the CONADEIP team. And that bodes well for their future, obviously, when they go back to America and begin their season in September. But meanwhile, Reyes, he's not getting tired. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4 right up the middle again.
Those legs are still churning. He's still powering through. that offensive line hasn't given up either. They're still trying to clear some lanes for them to run.
I spent one season, or half of one season, running plays in as a tight end, shuttling in one another, and the coach said, "We're trying to keep you fresh." I said, "Are you kidding me? I'm running more doing that than I'd be running it, you know."
It's amazing now with the technology where you don't have to run guys in and out. You can use, the headsets and call the play in, or the signals that they have now. It really speeds the game up, and it kind of puts defenses a little more on edge. We got a flag again.
It's another flag as Juarez was stopped just about the line of scrimmage.